I wasn't able to move my body in that way, but I did take some nice deep breaths, and hopefully I can catch one of your classes at some point. Welcome back this morning to folks. We're in the stretch. This is so exciting. It's been so much fun so far. Folks are a little waking themselves up and getting bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and ready to start another day and to have this fundraiser end with our goal met. In our interview room right now, I have my friend for a long time, Miss Heidi Jo Taylor. And why don't you introduce yourself, Heidi?
Well, obviously, my name is Heidi. I live out in St. Peter, St. Charles County. With Transformative Alliance is our organization out there. I'm the board president / founder, and we're just trying to establish something out there and following MTUG steps to let transgender and gender non-conforming folks out there know that they're not alone either. Sometimes it can be a challenge for people getting into the city, and I love what MTUG's done, so I've been trying to steal all Sayer's ideas and just duplicate it.
That's great. I mean, many times humans have approached us from different parts of the metro area and really from different parts of Missouri, talking about wanting to duplicate some of the services that the Metro Trans Umbrella Group does, and we don't always have the time and the space, and so Heidi has taken the charge to create community and familial support out in St. Charles County. And transportation from St. Charles to St. Louis is a barrier.
Well, there's not public transportation that you can really take once you get into St. Charles County.
Right.
So even, that's not an option for folks. And, I remember when I transitioned, I've lived out there now for almost 11 years as a transgendered person.
Yeah.
And, most of the time we've had a car, but gas money was always an issue.
For sure. Yeah.
So it was just, I had, you actually helped inspire it, when we did the thing at St. Charles Community College, and you asked me to help you out.
Yeah.
And then just after that, I did something at the library in St. Peter's with Vince Palazza. Mm-hmm. And the feedback that I got really big time from that was, we need something out this way.
Yeah, I'm glad you're filling that gap. And so what is going to be the heartbeat of the organization? What do you want to do with Transformative Alliance?
Essentially, just my goal, honestly, is to save lives. I want to form, we did a Friendsgiving dinner on Thanksgiving Day.
Right on.
And that happened kind of like fast, spur of the moment.
Yeah.
Just wanted to do something. I was thinking about, I had done that with you and done that with her. And the feedback that I got, and I was remembering my own feelings and how I felt over the holidays, especially in the first few years of my transition.
Yeah.
And it's lonely.
Yeah.
And I just wanted everyone to know that they didn't have to be alone. So went around and we got money together to make, the Friendsgiving dinner happen, and Pride St. Charles chipped in all the desserts.
Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah. So you're already forming alliances out in St. Charles County.
Exactly.
So you're partnering some with Pride St. Charles. Yes. I mean, they're giving you some loving. Are you getting involved with any of the other organizations out over there?
I've been going to the board meetings for the St. Charles Equality Coalition.
Oh, yeah. Great. Mm-hmm.
And I went to the last PFLAG meeting, and I'd like to continue to go to that just so that I'm learning a ton.
Oh, yeah. There's such a learning curve too, right? With organizing and just with keeping up with how our movement is experiencing liberation and how we're working together, and just all the things that come along with how it is to be trans, expansive now.
And the big thing that really impressed me out in St. Charles is, I went to businesses. It wasn't just trans people or trans businesses or even LGBT businesses. It was just the whole community. Everyone out there stepped up, and it was just to me, it was just so special. I mean, yes, we had the LGBT represented, but you also had just regular cis people that were here, I want to help you, Heidi. And so it was just, to me, it was just amazing that it happened. And hopefully we can continue with that momentum.
Yeah, for sure. So what do you anticipate? Are you going to be having support group? Are you going to have social group? What's your your shorter term plan? And then we'll talk about more of a longer term plan.
Short term, just something like a social group. I'd like to get suicide prevention training and things like that.
For sure.
Just to make sure that I'm actually doing everything I can to help people. And I'd hopefully kick off some support groups next year.
Yeah.
And right now, I'm trying to be diverse with everything. I figure if I had a trans-masculine person, because I'm not going to be much help with like trans-masculine issues.
Sure, right. And being a possibility model for trans-masculine folks. I think that's important, yeah.
Right. And a non-binary individual,
Yeah.
I have involved that wants to be a group facilitator.
Oh, yeah.
And really, I want to help everyone, regardless where they are on their journey for their transition.
Yeah.
They don't have to be 100% out living full-time, as their true selves. Because, gender is such a personal thing.
Yeah.
It should be a personal journey for an individual, and no one can tell you what's right for you and what's wrong for you in your journey.
Right on. So you're seeing the gap and you're filling the gap. So then let's think like longer term. What do you think? I know you had mentioned that you're trying to form the beginnings of a board, right?
Yes.
So are you looking for board members?
Right now, I have 2 board members, two people that have agreed to be board members, and we're looking for our third, so we can go ahead and establish the 501c3.
That's great, yep. That's a great big first step for sure, if that's the path that you want to take.
Right, and I really want to keep like the board diverse as well. I've actually, we got a trans-masculine person that's going to help.
Yep.
And then I've also, the other individual was very hesitant to be involved because they don't want to take up trans space.
Yeah.
But they've been a huge advocate for a long time. And, it's a lesbian. But I figure that diversity and having someone that's not necessarily trans may help keep me grounded, because sometimes I can be a little gung-ho.
Yeah. Well, I think it's important to have allies at the table. At this point in our movement, allyship is vital. And I think especially if this particular ally brings skills to your organization that you don't already have.
Right.
And if she's willing to work with you and alongside you and behind you, that's good allyship, right? And already speaking into the universe that I don't want to take up too much space. That's a green flag.
Right.
Right?
I liked it. I liked it when she said that.
Yeah.
Just because it was, she's aware and she's very conscious of, the trans individuals and our feelings. And I like them a lot. They have experience with starting a nonprofit.
Yes.
And they've been very, very supportive of me and providing a lot of good guidance. And having that individual involved would be good. And it doesn't have to be forever if they don't want it to be.
Sure.
But, it's just it'll be a living, growing thing.
Sure.
The direction that it goes is going to depend on the needs of the community.
So then, okay, so you're gonna form a board. You're gonna have social and emotional support in the form of support groups. You're gonna have some leisure activities, or the activities to engage each other socially.
Right, right. Have some social activities.
Yep.
Get together. You could go bowling. Things to let folks know that there is a community out here. We are here to help each other.
Yeah.
And just out there, it could be lonely at times. And I don't have to tell anyone as a trans person. It's even, especially, maybe more so out there, I don't know, I haven't lived in the city, but out there, it's difficult, like, people are, sometimes they can just assume things, and having those, true friendships can be difficult as a trans person.
For sure.
Out there.
Well, yeah, because I think you as a St. Charlesan are going to know more like some of the barriers and the needs of people that live out in St. Charles. Because, I'm not as familiar with St. Charles. To me, sometimes it almost seems like another state or another, I don't know, like a whole other entity. Bridge. Right, that bridge. It's a barrier. And so I think it's really valuable to have somebody who lives and breathes and is in community in St. Charles organizing out there. I think that's a clear example of that has been Pride St. Charles and how successful they've been. They really have fit a niche within community, right?
Yeah.
And so you're going to be able to really appeal to people in St. Charles that want that. Because navigating out there is different than it is navigating in the city.
Absolutely. And, as far as St. Charles currently, like they're working, the HRC, at the last city council meeting, they approached city council with adding gender identity to the protections.
Yeah.
And of course, it was released on Facebook and all over social media.
Yeah.
So, I was there for support.
Yep.
It's not something I can take credit for because the HRC was looking at that before I ever came along.
Sure.
But
And so what was the outcome of that?
the city council members are open to it, and they'd like, specific examples of the laws and how it would look
So
on
they
paper.
want more conversation.
Yes.
They weren't like, yes, but they were like, maybe.
I felt a good vibe.
Okay.
I felt a good vibe. So
That's great.
It's got some potential.
There's
out there.
movement happening.
And that's usually, you use St. Charles Pride as an example.
Yeah.
And like St. Charles Pride, the way it's grown, they even brought that up during their presentation to the city council. You got 100,000 people coming out for St. Charles Pride. A lot of
that's amazing. I want to just give some love to St. Charles Pride. They've been silent supporters of us quite a bit. They helped feed and water folks at our march. I mean, they're a good group of humans that are really, just making some space out there in St. Charles for LGBTQIA folks. I appreciate it.
I like Beth now, their president. She seems really nice. I don't know her very well.
Right. I don't necessarily know very many of the humans behind the entity of St. Charles Pride, but I appreciate the space that they're taking up, and I appreciate their partnership with
Absolutely.
us for sure. Yeah.
The first time I met her was actually at the Transgender Day of Remembrance out in St. Peter's.
Okay.
That was,
See, St. Charles is
that was an
doing
awesome
all the
event.
things.
Well, and P Flag, Jill All from P Flag.
Jill, yay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she was the one that put Tudor on. That was around the time that I'd been about 2 weeks, said, hey, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
And just started running with it.
Yeah.
And I came across Jill. And she did an awesome job with the Transgender Day of Remembrance.
Jill is awesome. Jill is lovely. Jill made a donation in honor of my foot. Thank you, Jill. All right.
How's your foot doing?
It's doing. We're pretty far into it's throbbing, but it's okay. I've got lots of love, and I'll be on rest here soon at the end of all this.
You've been here almost 24 hours now, right?
Yeah, we've been here for a while. We've been working hard. It's been a lot of fun. How are you? Do you have anything planned coming up yet?
For Christmas, I'd like to do something.
Mm-hmm.
I have to confirm space, but I'd like to do maybe like something in the evening, because most folks, try to go around their families. And if it doesn't go well or something, I'd like people to have somewhere, safe and reaffirming that they could come to.
Sure.
And maybe have some cookies, coffee, and just, some social interaction with people that love you no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
And
so you're still kind of looking around for different spaces that you can meet.
Yeah.
Like, how can folks help you out, right? Looking for space, putting the shout out maybe.
Well,
We have some baby partnerships, yeah.
Youth in Need out in St. Charles. Pat, the CEO there, she's been awesome. And they're the ones that donated the space for the Friendsgiving dinner.
Yeah, right.
To give them their props.
Yep.
They're amazing. They also, they allow the St. Charles Equality Coalition. They allow all these different
and
organizations
Growing American Youth, yes.
to use their space, and that's a blessing out in St. Charles. So there is a lot of support for us.
Yeah.
Going in. I feel like I kind of have it a little bit easier because of people like Jill and Jen and Heather
Sure.
and all these people.
They've blazed a trail out there.
Right.
Yeah.
And, just walking in, like me being no one, walking into Youth in Need, hey, I want to use your space for this big dinner.
Yeah.
And them saying yes. No way would that have happened without the people that were before me.
Sure, that have already created those relationships.
In a way, I'm kind of cheating from what you guys did in St. Louis. I'm just kind of jumping on and picking up where other people were already working.
I think that's great. I'm really happy for you. I'm proud of you. I'm excited for what's going to come, and hopefully we'll have beautiful partnership and, I don't know, cross-pollination.
We'll have to start like an annual bowling tournament between MTUG and Transformative Alliance or something.
Yes, that could
have some little friendly competitions going on.
That'll be fun. Well, maybe we'll do something fun together too out at St. Charles Pride.
Absolutely.
They could booth us by each other. So what else? So you're going to try to do a Christmas gathering.
Right.
And then talk to folks at the Christmas gathering about what's going to be next.
Yep.
Yep.
And next hopefully would be, we may keep it, it just depends on how quick like training goes for me. Maybe in January do something where everyone just gets together for a social event. Could be anything. But just, so people can have a sense of community that we start building and establishing. I know there's a lot of trans and gender non-conforming people out that way.
Yeah, for sure.
That have talked with me already. And I'm happy that I'm just happy I have the opportunity to do something to bring these folks together, so that they know that we're out here. We're here to help each other. We're here to support each other. And, no one should hurt themselves because they're like us,
Right, for sure.
Life is so awesome and amazing today. And I just want to keep it going that way.
And having that community and those possibility models can be life-saving and life-affirming.
Absolutely.
Well, I think I'm going to wrap up what you and I are talking about. I'm going to give you one of these. These are a limited edition print that we're giving folks that we're interviewing and centering, and it says, your support is vital to our liberation. So when you get your office, you can hang this in your office, right, for the Transformative Alliance. And this is also just a real commitment from the Metro Trans Umbrella Group to support you to the best of our ability and
awesome.
To be a good friend and a good partner. So
I appreciate everything you all have done to this point.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I was one of the ones that benefited from your group when you were first starting off and pretty much had nothing. And,
yep.
We moved in our house, had nothing, and MTUG came through with some towels and cleaning supplies and a couple Christmas presents for the kids.
Yeah.
And you were just barely even getting started.
We were babies,
so
right
I
on.
definitely love everything you're doing, and thank you very much.
Right
I can't wait to hang this in my office.
Right. You put that out in the universe, so great. All right. Thank you, Heidi.
Thank you, Sarah.
So you can find Heidi on Facebook, right?
Yeah.
Through the Transformative Alliance St. Charles. They're organizing through the Facebook group at this point. Are we wrapping back into the main room? I think we're fixing to